Dear friends, how often do you cross over? And you must be wondering, why am I asking this? Maybe let me put it this way. How often does your heart cross over? Especially that liminal space. This liminal space is basically the threshold, like where the door is, that's called the liminal space. That when we cross over to the other side of the door, it's a different space. And some of us are so comfortable being on this side of the door that very often we kind of know what's over the other side, but either out of fear of what is beyond and into that unknown, or what we're so comfortable with on this side that we don't want to consider crossing over. And I know some of us have got these things about doors and liminal space. I mean, even in our lives, if we're upset with somebody, and we say, we'll never step into the house, I'll never cross over that door. You can even see that going to someone's house, crossing into that door, you feel that you're entering into the space of another. And so today, in today's gospel, we have got this rich man who is not named, and we've got this poor man who is named, Lazarus. And I think this is how Jesus gives us how important people are in his story. That the poor man has a name, which means that the poor is looked after. Yeah? That there's value in this poor man's story. But that's not how the rich man saw him. That Lazarus was outside his door, and he had so much. Dressing in purple. Purple was a very, very expensive dye. And if you can wear your clothes in purple, wear linen, that means you're very, very rich. That the poor at your door, you don't even cross that space to see the needs of just someone just outside your door. Some might defend the rich man, say, but maybe he don't know that there was a poor man outside. Well, this story that we have is very interesting. When the poor man was in Hades, he actually looked up at Abraham, and he says, go and send Lazarus to my father's house, and got 5 brothers. Obviously, the 5 brothers never took pity on the poor as well. And so he said, better go and tell the 5 brothers to start doing something, some charitable works and feed the poor. So obviously, this rich man and the 5 brothers knew of Lazarus' existence. Otherwise, there's no point telling the brothers, because if the brothers never knew that Lazarus existed, even if he came back from the dead, they would just think that it's simply a ghost. They wouldn't even see that, oh, this is the man that was outside. So obviously, this family knew about Lazarus, the poor man outside their door, but did nothing to notice, to cross over. And so during this period of Lent, we're invited to cross over. And our Lord is searching the heart. And that's what our reading says, first reading. That our actions come forth from this heart. And if our heart is not willing to leap across, neither will our bodies. And so, is there that liminal space, that door we refuse to cross over? It could be a forgiveness issue, whether it's somebody else, or whether forgiving our own selves, because there's something we did so wrong that we feel that we don't deserve forgiveness, even though we've gone for confession already. Or we cannot forgive God because we feel that something happened in our lives, whether someone was taken away from us, or something precious was taken away from us. Or it could be wanting to go and just discover something that we feel that our souls, that there's something bubbling. And we feel that God is inviting us to something, an adventure, but we're afraid. And so we don't want to cross to the other side. So perhaps in this time in Lent, the second week in Lent, allow ourselves to be open, our hearts to be open to God's grace, and allow our hearts to leap and to cross over to the other side where there is life, there is adventure with the Lord. and know that the Lord is with you on this adventure. So do not be afraid and just cross over.